Full review of Helldivers 2 on PC 2024. I got so carried away that I forgot about the beer. Everything is cool with servers. As in any new game now, almost no start goes without technical problems or an abundance of them. But Cameron, yes, many games are released unfinished and raw. But this is not about Helldivers 2. The main thing for me here is something else. She's funny. It gives emotions. It is interesting to play. It is spectacular and generally beautiful. This is the kind of co-op that I would recommend to my friends, their friends and you if you have a pack of 3-4 people. They promise a lot of content in the future. We'll see, but for today everything is as it should be. The technical part will be corrected. A good review is not available. Please write again later. Repeat after 30. Repeat after 29-1. The best 60 hours that have disappeared from my life all the time. Let's see how many more there will be. Take it. You won't regret it. There has never been such a meaty and cheerful coup. And what kind of shooting here, and in general, interaction with the world is a delight. I have a solution to 2 world problems at once. Feed the homeless to the hungry. This is one solid challenge game. Survival in an area where there is a solid fog and poisonous spores, and beetles are running in large numbers from all sides. Your comrades are dying from your own airstrikes or from mines, because someone decided to take mines and scatter them on the battlefield, and everything from epic music and loud moans of pleasure. And what else is needed in such games? True, the price tag bites, but I think for that kind of money the game will definitely not let you get bored. In general, to begin with, let's omit the moment with bugs, Chinese servers that cannot withstand the influx of players, and in general, sometimes you go to some kind of server. Since these flaws are almost present in all games, even in WoW when launching a new add-on, I don't think it's worth giving a minus for this. Moreover, the developers honestly say and write that there is a problem and try to do something at least. Now, according to the game itself, it's actually an interesting shooter, somewhat reminiscent of Vermintide. There is a leveling of both the character and the ship. It seems that the bonuses are not strong, but with the time of the game, the increase is felt. There are elements of research and grind. There is some element of tactics, but rather it is more relevant on high difficulties, up to 6 difficulties. In general, you can distribute and clean the map alone. The game has a different set of tasks. In general, the balance of difficulties is not bad. In general, it's better to note the disadvantages, for those who are thinking of taking the game or not one. There is a donation battle pass, which can be used if you have purchased an expanded edition too. Stuffy grind. It seems to me that this is too much. It takes a very long time to farm reagents. There are 60-100 for improving the ship, and this is only for the first improvement, but from the mission depends on the complexity. You take out an average of 10 pieces, and this is if everyone in the rink has a desire to clean up the map. No one will shower, and in general an adequate team 3. In a cooperative game, the selection of players is terribly implemented, generally inconvenient and incomprehensible. 4. Similarly to paragraph 3, the mission selection is terribly implemented. You can use it, but poke back and forth 100 times. What nonsense. Well, it's subjective. 5. In general, there is not as much content as we would like to see for such a price list. In general, there are many disadvantages, but it is played quite cheerfully. Fix the servers, improve the search for players. You can already play without wasting your nerves. So far, it takes more time in the game to find a server for the game than for the game itself. We need to do something about it. As soon as I can play for at least a day without departures and discounts, I will change it to a positive one. The game is fantastic, which cannot be said about the technical condition of the game. A good beetle is a dead beetle. The game is cool with friends. It's a pity I don't have them. So far, the best game of this year. The atmosphere of Starship Troopers and democracy. I took the Super Citizen Edition. I've already played for 23 hours. The first day was only solo. The co-op servers did not work. The second day is already better. The third day of the server is even better. You can already safely play with friends and reconnect in case of rare departures. But it is not always possible to get into random missions, starting from the 5th time, approximately. But guys, do not judge strictly. This is a small startup Sony company. They were not ready for such a rush on the day of release. Should I buy it? If you are a fan of the first one and if you pull the iron, immediately yes. If not, you probably won't like the game. This is a harsh cooperative, for the sake of a cooperative and essentially the same missions. But she has a soul. This is the perfect continuation of the forgotten and deceased first part. Graphene, shooting, the world. The sensations of the top Griffonium was brought and the game is for PS5, so it won't work on the calculator. There is no plot, there is no campaign, an endless wanker who absorbed the best of the first part, Starship Troopers Beetles, Tyranids, Dreadnoughts of the Voss, insane Terminators from the Rise of the Machines. The gameplay is very repetitive. Negative comments are mostly nonsense. It does not work. It is not connected. It is not optimized. We gathered with the boys to carry Democracy at 17 o'clock. A couple of planets and bang, it's already 4 in the morning. I love Democracy. This is your right. You don't like it, make a refund and go to other games where everything is normal from the first second of launch. You don't need this game, and it doesn't need you. The servers will be fixed and everything will be top. Donation for skinners and the purchase of a local premium combat pass. The donation currency drops in missions but not enough. 10 coins from a container. The higher the difficulty, the more such containers can be found in the mission, but you need to look for. Premium BP costs 1000 super credits for their currency. This is $10. In the basic BP, they also give currency, about 700. I didn't exactly recalculate it. Premium BP returns 300 of the currency. In the donation BP, everything opens up for medals from missions. Guns and armor from BP are nothing supernatural. The basic PSUs have basically the same ones. The Super Citizen Edition is not necessary at all. It is a tribute to the developers. The first part and the Magus, you get a helmet, armor and a cape that almost everyone has, and sometimes there are 4 types of missions in these skins. The game on the Stratagem Hero ship is an arcade game for training, quick stratagem challenges and competitions with friends, purely a joke. You don't need it for life. One-handed PP is a pointless crap from the first part, which no one used. The title of Super Citizen is a title by which everyone can see that you are an ardent donator. And an open premium BP, the one that costs 1000 super credits, or $10. Perhaps the most valuable is an open premium PSU, but you will open it over time anyway. Regarding the price, it is expensive. The game is cool, but the price tag is extremely high. The developers said that there would be no paid DLS and seasons, but let's see, and everything can be opened effortlessly, for bucks only, speeding up the process. Therefore, for connoisseurs, if it were half the price it would not be, and so the overprice. With this money, you can take Cyberpunk, DDR2, Enhanced and The Witcher 3, at discounts, and there's content for hundreds of hours. But these are different games, and so it turns out AnaloGovNet is the best game of this genre and format. You can hang out in Dark Tide for 2.5 times cheaper. They are somewhat similar in terms of the level of action. You can wait for a discount like the first one, but it's years. Therefore, the guys see for themselves. If you take the money, you're limited in funds. Buy something else or wait for a discount. Happiness and health to all. Starship Troopers at maximum speed. There is no transport yet. No healing cannon either. Treatment with injections. But in the skating rinks there are places where an exploded armored car and beetles are dead as an entourage, and a scene where an exploded rocket walker and some kind of dune worm killed each other. So maybe the developers promised. I really miss at least the Motzik from the first part. The most useless stratagem was. Here he would have gone super because of the change in perspective and rather large maps. We are waiting. I hope they will add it. There are 2 factions so far, the same bugs and a more robotic version of the cyborgs from the first part. By the campaign, cyborgs completely rejected all humanity and became T-800, dreadnoughts and ATST. There is a place in the conflict on the map, and I think the enlightened ones will be added later. The gameplay is strikingly different against these 2 factions. All Beaver. The triumph of democracy. What is the game about? You play as members of the Super Special Forces Squad. Your task will be to liberate the space system adjacent to the Super Earth, your home, from the encroachments of individuals who are skeptical about the principles of democratic freedoms and rights. With the help of the super community, we will have to gradually recapture the planets by performing various tasks, thereby contributing to the overall global war. The future of the galaxy and your rewards depend on the results of your actions. How is the game played? Stupidly fall off your head. The game gives you an incredibly intense video game experience. The guns are banging great and each one is completely different. Super bombs explode under the hooting and calls to eat freedom. The limbs of those who have not accepted democracy get in the way. There is some kind of physics of the models. You can notice terraforming. The picture in the compartment with animations looks neat. At the moment, you suddenly find that your forces and those of the enemy are not comparable, and for the equation of chances, each paratrooper must equip himself with the main game gimmick, a stratagem. In simple terms, in our case, this is a special super beacon for calling special super support. Under the stratagem, you can hide both the call of a handheld super machine gun to solve one type of task, and an orbital super strike from your space super destroyer to solve others. To call for help, we will need to press a pre-prepared key combination. Using stratagems, we introduce new variables, creating and changing battle conditions. We literally have the opportunity to be the conductor of the war, directing what is happening on the battlefield with this tool. If the weather conditions do not aggravate the task assigned to us, and any insect does not try to bite off our leg, then using stratagems will not be difficult. Helldivers is testing all your skills and ingenuity. To complete the tasks and stay alive, you will have to try your best. You will die, you will spin, you will overcome, and you will definitely have super fun. There are 4 of you, and there are only legions of them. Helldivers will gradually bring you up to date. Initially, seemingly unaffordable tasks will eventually become a nice walk with a girl that you like, because the real ordeal awaits the player only after some time. Along with your in-game experience, your skill as a player will grow. Helldivers is not a simulator of inflating the protagonist by means of mathematics. Borderlands, Warhammer, Vermintide. Regardless of your level and equipment, you will get your head bashed in under unfortunate circumstances or not careful actions. Paratroopers have the opportunity to upgrade their equipment, but this option is not fundamental. In general, we will react to tasks, throw stratagems to solve them, run in random order, shoot, throw super grenades, pull super bugs, fall on super bugs, press super buttons on supercomputers, wear supermodels with data, call on insectoids and cyborgs to accept democracy, shout in voice chat, laugh at ridiculous deaths, and fantasize in every possible way about how to get away with it. And all this to an incredible orchestral soundtrack. Solemn, epic. I can describe it like this. At times, I just forget to breathe from the way he can catch up with suspense and thicken the atmosphere of what is happening on the screen. The composition playing at the moment of evacuation is just the feeling of catharsis, makes my skinny body tremble. This is some kind of childish feeling that gives a feeling of delight. Not surprisingly, your gaming experience will become even better depending on your involvement in the game process. I strongly recommend making voice contact with your team and friends. All of you are soldiers on the battlefield. Regardless of your level and rank, everyone is equal. Get to know democracy in all its glory and introduce it to everyone else. For the olds, it is also played only in the third person and without frames. A complete rebalance of the stratagems is in place. At the time of writing the review, the game is experiencing technical problems connecting to servers. Alas, I ran into them and even caught an even nastier problem. The owners of AMD 7000 series cards were very unlucky. The game can just crash at any moment. If you expect smooth gameplay right now, then I would still postpone the purchase until the complete repair. For me personally, the game of the year. What I expected, I got. I'm waiting for it to be fixed.